Hello my dear students, I hope all of you are fit and fine. Uh, our pre-happy early unit test is knocking at the door almost. We have successfully completed our pre-happy early portions and we have revised both the chapters quite a few times. I guess most of the confusions, most of the doubts have been clarified, though if still now if there is someone who has any kind of doubt or confusion, feel free to ask me during the live class. I will always be there to help you with that. Okay, today this is not going to be a very lengthy one because I will just discuss the answers of the previous worksheet that I have provided in the study material. And another thing, some of you asked me for some of you requested me for the answers, not requested, you just wanted the answers of some questions. I have provided the answers in the study material so that everyone can get that. Okay, you can modify the answers, of course you can add your own points, your own thoughts, but that must be relevant. As I always say, you need to establish your own point of view. You just can't add this and that. You need to add relevant points and you need to establish your own point of view if you add something, because this is literature. Okay, so at first I want to discuss the answers of the previous worksheet. Okay, the first question, the name of the poet of the poem Palm Tree. So obvious, the name of the poet of the palm tree is Rabindranath Tagore. Please always check the spellings of the title of the poem or a story, whatever you are reading or writing, and the spelling of the name of the author or the poet, whoever it is. Okay. Next one, the wish of the palm tree is, the answer will be both, because I think the options were piercing the clouds, to pierce the clouds and to fly away from the earth. So both were the wishes. So the answer, the correct option will be both. Okay. Number 3, quote unquote, he loves again. Whom does he love again? So this is a line quoted from the poem Palm Tree. Whom does he love again? Here he refers to the palm tree which has been personified in that poem, right? And here, whom does he love again? He loves his Mother Earth again. Mother Earth or Earth, whatever you will find in the option. Okay, you have to choose that. That one will be the correct option. Now next, number 5. The king wanted to know the answers as he wanted to be wise. Now this one, some of you asked me, ma'am, why don't you think that the king wanted to be wise? After knowing the answers he would be wise, that is why he wanted to know the answers. No, you have to choose the most appropriate option, and if there is something in the option, if you find something in the option section which is describing the particular point mentioned in the text, you need to choose that. It is clearly said in the short story by Leo Tolstoy that the king wanted to know the answers because he believed that he would be successful if he got to know the answers, right? So we can say that he wanted to be successful, that is why he wanted to know the answers, or he wanted to avoid failure, that is why he wanted to know the answers so desperately. This is the most appropriate point. Okay, obviously knowing some answers, he would gather some knowledge, he would be wise about that topic, but here is something mentioned in the option section that is clearly said in the text itself. in the chapter itself. So you have to choose that point. Okay, you can't think another way. Okay, now, so this one will be false. Number 6, quote dot dot dot, let us see who it is, unquote. The speaker here is the hermit. You remember when the king, after digging the ground for some time, he again desperately asked the hermit about the answers of the questions. The hermit again avoided the questions and said, let us see who is coming out of the forest, running out of the forest. So that portion, I have quoted from that portion. You can find that in the book. So here the speaker is the hermit. Number 7. In the third person narrative point of view, the narrator is a part of the story. No, I have explained this again and again. Still, if anyone has any doubt regarding this topic, please do let me know in the live class. I will revise the topic, I will discuss it again. No problem. So, in the third person narrative point of view, no, I have said that in the third person narrative point of view, the writer or the narrator, he is no way a character of the story. That happens in the first person narrative point of view. There the writer or the narrator, he is definitely or she is definitely a character of the story, a part or an active part of that story. Okay, but not in the third person narrative point of view. So in the third person narrative point of view, the narrator is a part of the story. No, this one is false. Okay, now next one, ambush means. What does the word ambush mean? The act of hiding and waiting for someone then to attack him or her suddenly. The act of making attack suddenly, right? How did the king, this meaning you can find in your own book. How did the king feel after making peace with his enemy? Happy. This particular word has been taken from the text itself. You can, if you read the text minutely, you can find the word happy, the feeling of the king. Okay, after making peace of with his enemy, you can find the word happy in your text itself. Okay, so go through the text very minutely. This is very important in case of multiple choice questions especially. Okay, according to the hermit, number 10, according to the hermit, for the king, the most important person was, the answer will be both. I think there the answers were the hermit and the wounded man. Okay, why both? So many students ask me about this question, why both? See, when the king was busy to help the hermit with the digging, who was the most important person at that time? The hermit. Because according to the hermit's point of view, what did you learn while reading the text? The most important time is the present time, the time now. Okay, and who is the most important person to talk to or to deal with? The most important person is the one whom we are dealing with at a particular moment, right? So at that moment, the hermit, the king was busy to help the hermit. His only purpose was to help the hermit. That is why at that time, for that moment, the hermit was the most important person for the king. But then when gradually he met with the enemy, the wounded man, he became busy to bandage, to nurse, to treat the wound of that man. At that time, he was the major person, he was the most important person for the king. So, it depends on time to time. Okay, when he was busy to help the hermit was the most important man because he was dealing with the hermit at that moment, at that particular moment. Then when he was busy to nurse the wound of the wounded man, at that particular moment, he became busy to help that wounded man. So the wounded man at that time, for that particular moment, the wounded man became the most important person for the king. So in the story, both the incidents took place, right? Both the incidents have been described. So according to this story, according to the three questions, both the characters, the hermit and the wounded man, both were the most important persons for the king, varied from time to time, right? So this is the explanation. Still, if you can't understand anything, please ask me in the live class. Okay. These were the answers of the previous worksheet, and as I said, the answers that some of you wanted, I have provided those answers in the study material. I would suggest all of you to at least go through those answers once. Maybe you can get some ideas or anything. You can obviously modify the answers. Okay, next one. Now I would like to discuss some important points that I have already discussed in the previous classes. Like, I am just discussing briefly. Okay, like you need to remember the names of the poet, and in case of stories, the author, like Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy was a Russian author. You need to remember that the names of the two longest works by him, Anna Karenina and War and Peace. In case of Palm Tree, who is the poet? Rabindranath Tagore. Now, which figure of speech has been used in the poem Palm Tree? Personification. How do the readers come to know that the personification has been used? Whenever we go through the poem, we can find the human features like leg, head. These have been given to the palm tree, which is a non-human thing, right? A tree is not a human being. So from these things we can come to know that yes, the palm tree has been personified. Besides, the palm tree has the ability to imagine things, just like us, just like the human beings. The palm tree in this particular poem can imagine things. So this is also an instance of personification. Besides, the pronoun, the use of the pronoun he, which generally refers to, which is generally used to refer to masculine gender, male human beings, that can also indicate the personification, with the feature of personification, the use of personification. The color of the clouds, grey, that can be a very important question. Another things, the leg of the palm tree, what does it symbolize or what does it stand for? The fronds, meaning of fronds. Who is the mother of the palm tree? What happens when the wind becomes still, wind stops blowing? These can be important questions, and in the three questions, the questions are obviously one of the most important questions that can come in the examination, right? The whole story is about those three questions, so you need to remember the three questions. And what were the answers of the hermit? Who came to give the answers from various countries, like the wise men, I'm talking about them. What were their answers? Why did the king want to know the answers? Then why did he go to the hermit? Where did the hermit live? The description of hermit, then all the incidents and everything that we have already discussed. But we are going to give two classes. Okay, two more classes today and Saturday, on Saturday. So I would suggest you to note down your doubts and queries so that it will be easier for all of us to ask them quickly, ask the questions quickly, to answer the questions quickly, everything. Okay. So for now, bye bye. We will meet in the live class. We will discuss some more topics in the live class. Okay. Bye bye.